All right, everyone, ready to dive in. Today we're tackling measuring maintenance performance. And before you think, not for me, trust me, this goes beyond just factories. Keeping things running smoothly matters. Whether it's a factory, a fleet of trucks, even your own house, right?
Absolutely. And, listeners are really into asset management, boosting that maintenance performance. So we're digging into the Maintenance Audits Handbook for some strategies just for that.
Love it. Now, the book jumps right into it. I bet we all feel data overload.
Mhm.
Spreadsheet sensors, reports from those, what are they called, CMMS systems. It's a lot.
It really is. And those CMMS platforms, they're amazing, software managing all those maintenance tasks. But man, so much data. It's like having every ingredient for a fancy meal, but no recipe. What do you do with it all?
Nailed it. So we cut through that, figure out what matters.
It's about those key performance indicators, the KPIs, the ones telling us how well maintenance is actually supporting the whole operation. Woodhouse, he's the author, suggests focusing on just a few, maybe six per level of the company, instead of tracking everything. Quality over quantity.
Right, like that's saying what gets measured gets managed, but it's got to be the right stuff. So how do we even choose those golden KPIs?
That's where knowing the lifespan of an asset comes in. The handbook talks about this bathtub curve. Kind of
A
interesting.
bathtub curve. All right, you got my attention. Tell me more.
Picture a bathtub, but sideways. That shape, that's the life of an asset, like a piece of equipment. At the start, more likely to fail, those new thing hiccups, that's the steep part of the tub. Then it flattens out, failure rate's stable, things are good. Finally, up we go again as it gets old, more wear and tear.
Okay, so how does a bathtub help me pick KPIs?
Because different KPIs matter at different curve points. Early on, it's installation, early defects. Stable period, it's preventative stuff. Meantime, between failures, the MTBF, how long can you keep it humming? Then, as it ages, it's mean time to repair, MTTR, how fast can you get it back up when it does fail?
This is clicking. Like the right tool for the right job, but on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
But it's not just the machines, right? The handbook talks about those soft costs of maintenance, and those sound kind of scary, honestly.
They can be, but gotta understand them. Hidden expenses don't always show on a spreadsheet, but impact the bottom line big time.
Okay, like what? Give me an example of these sneaky costs.
Downtime's a big one. Equipment breaks, right? Obvious cost is the repair, parts, labor, all that. But while it's OUT, that's production time lost.
Oh, right. Lost production, lost money, probably some unhappy customers if deadlines get missed, too.
Exactly. That's all part of downtime's soft cost. The book even has this case study. Company found out bad training for their maintenance team meant 15% more downtime, cost them $2 million a year.
2 million.
Mhm.
Not so soft anymore. Makes you rethink skimping on training, huh?
For sure. And that's just one example. Departments not talking, nobody clear on who's responsible for what, even pay differences between maintenance and production folks. All adds up to inefficiency, higher costs in the end.
Wow, this is making me realize measuring this isn't just can you fix the leaky faucet fast? It's systems, people, even emotions. Kind of human, huh?
It really is. And as we get deeper into this book, you'll see those human factors, key to making not just the machines work better, but the whole approach to maintenance.
So we've got these hidden costs lurking in the shadows of our maintenance operations.
And those costs, as we've said, can really hit a business hard.
Which makes me think, what can we actually DO? Not just find the problem, but like fix it, improve things?
Well, the book says a good starting point is looking at how maintenance departments are usually set up.
Oh, like org charts, who works for who, 10 stuff.
That's it. See, traditionally, maintenance, it's been its own thing, separate from production engineering.
Right, it's like you fix it, we build it, but not much talking in between.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
That siloed approach, it causes problems. Communication breaks down, different priorities, that us versus them thing we mentioned.
Where it's like each side is the enemy, instead of working towards the same goal.
Right on. That's why the handbook talks about this trend, moving away from rigid structures toward more flexible teams.
Interesting. So instead of maintenance being off on its own, it's more integrated with other departments.
That's the idea. Cross-training, everyone shares responsibility, break down those walls between departments.
This reminds me of you mentioned operators doing basic maintenance themselves.
Yes. So not just operators push buttons, maintainers fix everything, but give those operators some ownership, training.
So they spot issues early, maybe even fix them before it's a huge shutdown.
Exactly. It's creating a culture where everyone owns keeping things running. The book has some cool examples of companies doing this well.
Oh, like what? Always love hearing how it works in the real world.
So there's this plant, They had tons of downtime, small stuff breaking. They started training operators on the basics. Cleaning, lubing, just looking at the equipment.
Instead of waiting till it's broken, they're being proactive.
Right. Results were huge, way less downtime, costs went down, and the operators, they felt more ownership over their work.
Everyone wins. But I'm guessing this culture change is not overnight, right? Got some bumps along the way.
Of course. The book stresses, got to have clear communication, everyone's on board, top to bottom, and the training, the support, that's got to be ongoing.
Makes sense. Can't just throw people in the deep end without the right tools. Speaking are you of tools, what about technology? We talk CMMS. Anything else helping up maintenance performance these days?
Oh, absolutely. This is getting really interesting. Sensors are everywhere now, data analysis, even AI is getting into the mix.
Wow, so not your grandma's spreadsheet anymore.
Not even close. Think about it. Sensors on key equipment, checking temperature, vibration, pressure, all that constantly.
And if something's off, even a little, it sends an alert before a human even notices.
Bingo. That's predictive maintenance. Not waiting for the breakdown, but the system analyzes that sensor data, predicts problems before they happen.
So you fix it beforehand? No downtime surprise, no huge costs.
Exactly. The handbook even talks about AI taking this further.
AI predicting breakdowns? Sounds like a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? But it's becoming reality. AI looks at tons of data from sensors, maintenance logs, even the weather, and finds patterns we miss, even more accurate predictions.
That is wild. Combining that kind of tech with being proactive, working together, seems like the sky's the limit.
It's a total game changer. And while not everyone can afford all the fancy AI stuff right now, the point is we're moving away from just reacting. Maintenance is getting more data-driven, proactive, part of the whole business strategy.
And that's something I think anyone can get behind, whether it's a giant factory, keeping trucks on the road, or just our own homes.
Yeah.
It's like we took maintenance from fixing stuff with a rock to, like, spaceships and lasers, all in one deep dive.
Haha, that's a good way to put it. But, even with all this cool tech, can't forget about us humans, right?
Right, the tech gives us awesome tools, but we're still the ones using them, making the calls.
Exactly. The handbook, it talks about building a maintenance culture. Kind of interesting.
Maintenance culture.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
now I am curious. What's that mean?
It's like making it so everyone feels responsible for keeping things running, not just the maintenance crew.
So breaking down those silos, like we said, but even deeper than that, right? Like it's just how everyone thinks.
Got it. Taking pride in things working right, talking between departments, realizing that good maintenance, it's how you reach the company's goals.
I'm into this idea. It's not just fix it when it breaks. It's don't let it break in the first place.
Exactly. And that kind of change, it affects everything, the whole company.
I can see that. Everyone's on board taking care of things. That's got to be more productive, less cost. Even people are happier, probably.
For sure. And the handbook, it's got some good tips for actually building this culture, making it happen.
Yeah, like what? Give us the secrets.
Communication is huge. Got to be able to talk, not just within the maintenance team, but with every department.
No more memos disappearing into a black hole or emails nobody reads.
Exactly. Regular meetings, teams with people from different areas, even online stuff, so everyone's in the loop, seeing the progress makes a difference.
Makes sense, and it goes back to that shared responsibility, right? Everyone's voice matters.
Absolutely. And recognizing good work, celebrate those wins, big or small. It shows maintenance matters. People take pride in doing it right.
Love it. Everyone likes a little good job, right? Even if it is a greasy job. Haha.
You got it. It's about changing how we see maintenance. Not just a pain in the butt, but something important that helps us succeed.
Well said. So we're wrapping up our maintenance deep dive here. What's the big takeaway for our listeners?
I think it's that good maintenance, it's not just fixing stuff. It's understanding how it all connects. The equipment, the people, the tech.
It's thinking ahead, using data, always looking for ways to improve, not just the thing itself, but the whole system around it.
Exactly. And yeah, the exact KPIs, the strategies, they'll be different for everyone, different industries.
Yeah.
But those core ideas, always improving, working together, taking ownership, those are universal.
So whether you're running a factory, keeping those delivery trucks moving, or just your own house, remember. Think ahead, be proactive. Maintenance can be your friend.
That's right. Might even find you enjoy it. You never know.
Haha. All right. Thanks so much for guiding us through this. It's been really eye-opening, I gotta say.
Happy to do it. Someone's got to shine a light on maintenance. It's more interesting than people think.
I think you've convinced a few people today. And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us. Next time you hear a squeak, Don't just grab the WD-40, think bigger picture. Until next time, happy maintaining, everyone.